What is going on, y'all? Joe here. We're going to do a booster box update. It's been a little while, so with the Pokemon market crash coming to an end, Pokemon starting to rebound, we're starting to see all-time highs with a lot of products. I figured it would be a good time to go through these. It's been a while since we've looked at them, and if you're looking at these from an investment purpose, which the older ones you probably should be, the newer ones, another story if you're just looking to buy. We're just going to go right through from the Sword and Shield alt art sets all the way until Phantasmal Flames, and just going to be a button clicker type of video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. We have Evolving Skies. The booster box is back to its all-time highs. As you can see, the lowest listed is 2,600, and the most expensive was 2,600. So Evolving Skies, all-time high. I believe the loose packs are right around $40 too, which is an all-time high as well. Personally, I think that's still undervalued. I think a lot of Sword and Shield loose pack wise are undervalued. But remember, you got to be careful with loose packs because of people resealing and such. I have a sizable amount of Sword and Shield loose packs, but I broke them all down personally myself from collection boxes and tins and such. So that's where all my loose packs come from. But Evolving Skies back to all-time highs. Fusion Strike, I want to say same type of deal. About $1,000, 32. Lowest listed is $1,000. Let's see what the last solds are. Right at $1,000. So Fusion Strike back to an all-time high, and these loose booster packs are very undervalued in my opinion. Next, we have Lost Origin, and Lost Origin's all-time high was just over 820 bucks, 820 bucks, and our recent sales are like 750. So we're rebounding quite nice, but not quite all-time highs. Brilliant Stars. A lot of people have been saying Brilliant Stars has been undervalued for quite a while, and personally, I agree. You have Charizard as the uh, main chase, and it's a really nice Charizard. We were at 550, reached a low of like 420, which was a great buying time. I believe this was called out by literally everybody, and unfortunately, I just couldn't find anybody willing to sell me a booster box. I did get ETBs though, and now we are from 550 all-time high, and we're past that 570. Chilling Rain. Now I do have a Chilling Rain on my website for sale. Shameless plug. Head on over to maxpacks.com. We have a lot of English Pokemon products and Japanese booster boxes. So head on over to the website, check us out. All-time high 575. We hit a low right around 410. And honestly, I think Chilling Rain's undervalued too. We're back up to about 520. 550 is the lowest listed. Let's see what we got. Pretty steadily selling 550, 575 roughly. Just about there. Next we have Silver Tempest. And Silver Tempest, I don't know if it just wasn't that well loved. I mean, it really is Lugia or bust. But right as soon as it was getting ready to go out of print, I think we got a huge restock or reprint. And then like nobody really bought it up, or people just I think Pokemon was just dead at the time, and we were like transitioning into Scarlet and Violet. But year we hit a high of 490. It didn't really pull back a whole lot. 430. We're sitting right around 480, 485. So we're pretty close to all-time highs on Silver Tempest as well. And that Lugia, I'm pretty sure, is at all-time highs as well. Again, Lugia or bust though, that's the issue. But at least it has a big chase card. Next, we have Destined Rivals. Now, remember, this is in rotation for like 2 years, and that other print facility is supposed to be up and running. I believe we are getting a reprint at the end of January for the booster bundles as well, so just be prepared for more stock. This thing was on an insane tear. Yeah, look at this. Look at this nice spike up from 300 all the way up to what, 500? Yeah, that's insane. I don't think it ever should have been that high. Even 400 this early is like kind of ridiculous, but it's at 420. Recent sales prove that 430. Every single one of them, same price. So, Destined Rivals is just expensive until we get major booster box reprints for that. I think it's going to stay expensive. Next, we have Paldea Evolved, and this is the second most expensive from Scarlet and Violet. Reached an all-time high of $475. This all-time high is like a week after Destined Rivals hit its all-time high, and I think that's just when we started crashing down a little bit. But it's rebounding back up over $400. What are our recent sales? Recent sales right over 400. So remember, Paldea Evolved is out of print in April. I really don't think we see any of these. Paldea Evolved is a fantastic set. I absolutely love Paldea Evolved. Next, we have Astral Radiance. And Astral Radiance, for whatever reason, is not loved like the other sets. I get there's not like super duper chases. You have the Machamp and you have the Misty Starmie, but the Misty Starmie was kind of balling out there for a while, and I really, really like that card. I was hoping it would get a bigger bump from the new like Misty Psyduck and Misty's Lapras and stuff like that, but unfortunately, it just hasn't. So anyway, we're at just over $400, right around its all-time high. Let's see here, 390, 455, yeah, right around that $400. And honestly, I think Astral Radiance should be more expensive. Hot take, maybe? I don't know. Twilight Masquerade sitting at $300. I want to say it's been 300 for a while. Let's see. It reached an all-time high of 330, fell down to like 270, and now we're back up to 300. So not too bad. 300. Yeah, right around 300. And remember, remember, Twilight ETBs are dirt cheap, but the booster box is super expensive. I've been saying these ETBs are what you should be buying when they're that cheap. When a booster box is $300 and the ETB can be found at MSRP, buy the dang ETB. Like, come on, man. It's not that hard. Obsidian Flames, I think this ship has sailed. Honestly, the Charizard's not that expensive. Easy pull rates, and the booster box is $300. It's not it's not a good set. It really isn't. Nobody wanted this set when it came out, not even me. So I just can't believe people are paying $300 for that set. That's insanity to me. Next, we have Temporal Forces. Now, I do have a sealed case of Temporal Forces. I got way dirt cheap. I think one of the places did like a one-time coupon that made it irresponsibly cheap. Like it was so cheap that I was like, all right, I gotta buy it, you know? At that time, I wasn't really looking for cases. I was looking for the cheapest places I could buy, individual boxes. We were at 275 as a all-time high, only dropped down to like 250, and we're pretty much right back up. 275 is the last sale, so that's all-time high. We're right there with Temporal. And I believe Temporal is the following rotation, not this rotation, the following rotation. So it still has a year, but we have never seen more temporal with anything. So I don't know. It's kind of a slept on set in my opinion. The only issue is I believe they're called paradox Pokemon where, like Raging Bolt and stuff like that. Like if they would have just called them their normal names, I think it would have been fine. But like Walking Wake and stuff like that. I don't really like it either. I think the artworks are pretty cool, but just not it. Next, we have Stellar Crown, and Stellar Crown is not a good set at all, but we're not far from all-time highs. 280. I can't even believe that was a $286 box, dude. That's insane. Down to 260. Let's see the recent sales. Right around that 260, $250 mark. Nice. Um, like I said, Stellar Crown. I dumped all my Stellar Crown right around $200, I want to say, and I was perfectly okay with that. It was hard. It was a hard set to move. It's just not good. When you only have a Bulbasaur and a Squirtle as the chase cards, and they're not even SIRs, they're just IRs. They're like I think they pumped up to like a $80, $90 before, but I think in reality they're like $50, $60 cards best. And that's your top chases. That's insanity. And that's $260 insanity. Surging Sparks. Everybody has been saying this has been undervalued for a long time, 6 months. I don't know, however long it's been. We reached an all-time high of 300. I believe we got reprints right after that. 230. We're sitting at 260. What are recent sales? Right around there, 260, 265, 250. Yeah, right around there. Perfect. Surging Sparks. I mean, like I said, everybody's already said it's been undervalued. Even at 260, I want to say it's undervalued. I think this is a better set than Twilight Masquerade, and Twilight Masquerade's over 3. So I would expect Surging Sparks to be like 350. But whatever, the market undervalues it, whatever. Next, we're looking at Scarlet Violet base. Same thing, this set is super weak, but I think people are just realizing, hey, if I don't get it now, I'm never going to get it just because it's getting ready to go out of print. 246 was the all-time high, crashed down to like 220. Not much of a crash, and now we're at all-time highs, 250. And um if you take a look at Sword and Shield base is like $800, and there's not a whole lot of good stuff in there. So I'm not saying this base set can do the same as the previous base set, but it's doable. It's the first set to go out of rotation in the block. Ah, personally, I don't think so. I'm probably gonna sell out of my position right after it goes out of print, maybe a couple months after it goes out of print, just kind of see what this year brings. But this isn't really something I want to hold on to for, 5 more years or something like that. I'd rather just sell it, get my money back, and put it into something else where I could either grow my business or just grow my investments. All right, Phantasmal Flames. So this is the newest set release, and honestly, I'm surprised it's holding up at 250 bucks. I believe I still have some of these available on my website as well. There's the year chart. So, like I said, head on over to maxpacks.com, buy yourself some booster boxes. I even limited these, I think, to people. Hit it at a low of 212, and we're up to like 246, 250 roughly. I mean, the booster box is doing way better than I thought. After that second wave hit, I thought for sure we were gonna hit like 180 to 200 and stay there for a little while. I was expecting more ETBs, bundles. I was expecting a lot more than what we got, to be honest, and I was expecting it to hurt the market more. Kind of like what happened with Mega Evolution. But now we look at Mega Evolution, the enhanced version. I don't really think many people have the non-enhanced version. But looking at the year chart, we hit 320 roughly, and now we're about 220, 240. Let's look at the recent sales. 240. Yeah, recent sales are at 240. And honestly, like this set does have some good depth in it. It really does. It's just so new. Same thing with Phantasmal Flames. They're just so new that there's so much that can happen. And if I was to buy something over MSRP, it would be booster boxes. Like booster boxes are it. You're what? $80 over MSRP. I'm sure you can find it cheaper locally. Uh, I've had them on my website, but I guess people just don't want them. I'm not sure what's going on with the Mega Block. People are hyped for like 2 to 3 weeks and then forget about it. Next, we have Paradox Rift. Everybody likes to shill Paradox Rift. I will not be one of those guys today. I will not shill it. It hit an all-time high of 325 and bounced back down to 250. Honestly, that seems expensive for Paradox Rift as well, but it is getting ready to go out of print. It's not a great set. There is some nice stuff. The Altaria. There's a Garchomp in here, even though most people said it's a horrible Garchomp. Eh, I don't know. If it had stayed at 230, maybe even went up to 250, I probably would have sold out of them a while ago. But by the time I got them out, it had tumbled and I didn't. All right, let's look at the enhanced version of Journey Together. And a lot of people were like hating on Journey Together and all this stuff, but it's doing well. It got up to 260, like 265, 260, and it's tumbled all the way back down to 230. Where was its low? 200? I could have sworn it was like 180 as a low, but it got down to 230. I don't think that's a horrible price for Journey Together. Again, it's not that old of a set. I think we're approaching a year in what, like March, I want to say. maybe right after March, somewhere around there. Journey Together will be a year old. And again, it's just the new set like Destined Rivals, Black Bolt, White Flare, the Megas. They're all new sets. A lot can happen before it goes out of print. But as you can see, a lot of sets have rebounded and hit all-time highs. Looking at you, Sword and Shield. A lot of sets are at all-time highs. Looking at you, early Scarlet and Violet. Pretty much across the board, everything's doing well. Everything's rebounding. Things are looking nice. That's our booster box update. If you like the video, smash that subscribe button where we do more of these. I try to alternate between a short and a full length video every day. So make sure you follow for those or subscribe for those and head on over to my website, maxpacks.com. Get yourself some English Pokemon, some Japanese Pokemon. I still have Chinese. Get yourself some Pokemon. And I'll see you guys on the next video.